What do you think about labels?
I don't know, I feel like labels is just like a pretty way to package yourself to give to someone else. Like, oh, this is who I am. But like, you know who you are without having to name it, right? Just by like your actions and just like living in this world. So, you know, I feel like there needs to be so much less press on like a label and more on like happiness and being you and like all those tropes, because it's like stressful as a teenager and thinking like, what if I'm wrong? What does this word mean? And you know.
How do you deal with hateful comments online?
I used to feel like I needed to be that person to like let them know that you're ignorant and yeah, this needs to stop. And whoever's allowing you to think this way and talk this way in your real life, like let me be your daddy for a second, spank you, and let you know you're wrong. But after a while, it was starting to get, it was taking my energy, and I was like, I want to give you energy, but I don't want you to take it from me. And I started to realize that sometimes people do that for attention, like whatever's going on in their life, they're just saying whatever. They probably do support you, might really like you, but because whatever they're going through, they're just like, I need some attention, so I'm gonna say everything that I can to get your attention because I need it for some other reason. And so sometimes I see that, and if they ask like a question that I think, even though it's like they came wrong, but they need an answer in some way to maybe like help them, and I will do it sometimes. But other than that, like just so you guys know, if you ever want to start a channel or anything, that's just gonna come. You gotta like just roll over it. Now I do a video, I post it, and I forget it ever happened. Because I'm a perfectionist, I will look at it and be like, oh, I hate it, take it down. You gotta forget it happens, and you gotta feel the same way about the comments, because sometimes people just want to make you feel like crap.
What would you say to your pre-adolescent self?
My pre-adolescent self? So we talking about like 13, 12?
Sure.
Where to start? Oh my gosh. Move. Let's start there.
Stop giving up what other people's opinions are about you. Your Catholic school doesn't know everything, and you're gonna be okay.
I mean, I think that's why the It Gets Better campaign was like, it was so correct, in my opinion. Like, the older you get and the more you're comfortable with yourself and who is your community and who's your family and who's your chosen family, it gets so much better. So, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I used to hear like it gets better, right, when I was like starting to figure shit out. I was kind of like, bitch, when? Like, can we like study? Like, when to get better for everyone? And find like a time frame, like for me, like, is it 6 months? Is it 6 years? Like, I don't really know what's going on. But yeah, I think that would be it. Like, just hold on, because it does get better. There's just there's a whole world out there, and you really do not think, like, I really thought my bubble was like my house, like my school, like my hometown, like that was it. But there's so much world out there, and you meet so many different people that like challenge your ideas, you know, grow with you, that have the same opinions as you. Like, there's so many other people out there, and some people will grow with time. I mean, like, my mom calls me her son now, like, everything's good for my mom. And like, you know, on the other side of my family, like my dad I haven't talked to in like 4 years, because he's like, he's shit. So I was like, you know what, like, you gotta go, and like, that's fine. You know, you get the strength as you get older to choose who is around you, and then other people will also grow with you. It's not what it is today. Like, if you were here right now and you're like, ooh, it's bad at home, I can wear a pride flag here, but like, mom and dad don't know, like, no, it gets a lot better. But it's hard to be told that when you're like, but actually, yeah.
I'd say you get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you grow, because the world around you, for the most part, is still hard. So you just get better at handling it. Yeah.
What advice do you have for straight cis allies?
Listen. Yeah, period. That's the tweet.
I make it easy for you. I post petitions, swipe up, sign a petition, make change, get out there, help us, support us. You see that things are hard. You see that the laws are against us, and a lot of times we don't have the same rights as you. As a family, just to be a family, just to grow and go to the doctor, it's not the same. So do something about it. Don't just say, hey, I support you. Cool, be there with us, sign the petition. I'm making it easy for you. Come follow me and swipe up.
Yeah, and realize realize that if you have all these laws, they're just privilege because not everyone have them. So if you want for everyone to have the same rights as you, you need to go and speak and do all the things we want to do if we want to be like one.
What was the scariest part of coming out?
I was really afraid of how our families were going to react, and it happened. but yes, that was the part that really scared me the most, after myself and my own struggles with that. So that's my case.
This question is, what's missing in YouTube representation right now? Whose voices should we be lifting up and seeking?
I mean, I think it's funny that the LGBTQ plus community was founded on the matriarchal backs of these Black trans women, and there's not that many Black trans women voices that are being lifted up in a time like today, especially disabled voices too, the intersectionality, disabled creators that are also queer are not lifted up as much on the platform. I think we also all see that, through the adpocalypse or whatever the hell of you put your YouTube on restricted mode, a lot of coming out videos don't show up. It gets harder once the intersectionality goes more and more and more and more. I feel like so many voices are, the white passing, even male passing, queerness. Which is something too, I find myself, I will get, job opportunities in the queer space, and I just recently was on a panel, a project, where next to me was a Black trans woman, and I was like, oh my god, this is my first time on a project with someone who identifies this way, and I'm the one who's always hired, but I am trans, yeah, I'm queer, yeah, but it's I'm male passing. People see me on the streets of Missouri, they're gonna think I'm a straight young white boy. So there is privilege that comes with even the disadvantages I have, because not a lot of people know it. You know what I mean? Unless you're in the know. So yeah, lifting up these voices, which I think, as creators we can all do by collaborating, by lifting each other up. But there's definitely a lot more work that needs to be done, I think, in that area.
I have a question for Miles and Amber, which is just, how do you feel your experience differs from your fellow panelists as queer people of color on YouTube? Can you speak to
Amber?
Can you go first?
How do I think our experiences differ?
We just talked about this in the car too, by the way. Just want to tell you guys about it.
It differs a little bit, I guess you could say. Yeah, I mean, I really, my experience growing up was pretty mild, I guess you could say. I was one of those kids who would just keep their head down at school and just pray for the day to be over so that we could just go back home and play video games, But specifically as a Black and queer person, especially feminine, I find that there aren't a lot of spaces for me, and even though people say that, they're really supportive, there is an underlying feeling that I get that they, I don't want to say aren't supporting enough, but there is just a resistance that I can feel, and I think that's from conditioning, as a child to view people like me a certain way, and I can sense that in certain people and how they talk to me, and gay people as well. So it's not just the Black community who's ostracizing me for being gay and feminine, but it's also the gay community who's ostracizing me for being feminine and Black. So I'm just trying to navigate these spaces, and by myself, and it's really difficult. Not gonna lie, it's still difficult now. So that's really my biggest issue with both of these communities, is trying to find a space to fit in, which is why I talk to mostly Black trans people. I feel like they understand my experience more than gay people do. because gay people, at least some of these gay men are cis, you know, they're still men, so they don't have the same issues that I do.
Yeah, it started when I was young. I said earlier, I went to Catholic school all 12 years of my life, and so it was mostly Caucasian, and even though I'm pretty light, I stood out, especially in my hair at all times. It was like, I did go through a day where I was constantly reminded, you're different, you're black, okay, like it was always a thing. On YouTube, I didn't realize until a couple of years ago that, you know, I didn't see others. And then when I started to see others, I was like, oh my God, community, yay, we're all the same, great. But it wasn't treated that way. Like my manager, I didn't have my manager back then, but it started to, like when all of us would do, like a bunch of lesbian YouTubers would do a project together, let's say like we got a brand to sponsor us, you could tell significantly once we started talking to each other that the two Caucasian lesbians and the two lesbians of color that were on the project got paid significantly different, even though our followings were larger than theirs. And so it's always kind of been a battle of like proving ourselves, proving that our audience is worthy, no matter if they're people of color or whatever demographic that they are. So it's still a battle, and I'm fine with that. I love being the underdog. I love fighting. I love jumping over these little hurdles that they call obstacles and being like, ha! Well, I'm still here, I'm still queer, and I'm still going, baby.
Do you set out to make queer content?
Person to person, I mean, I feel like some people make content and they're like, I make queer content because I'm just a queer person and I'm making this content. Other people use the platform to, you know, be very educational. I know, like, you know, Ash Hardell, like, really is like, here's what these words are, here's what they mean. You know, a lot of videos that I make will have resources and stuff for my kids, but it's not necessarily like a learning experience in time. It's more like, here's my experience. If you have the same, I'm gonna jive with it. But, you know, I think it's, yeah, I think everyone who makes content on the platform is different, and a lot of times too, you know, I know some people who are LGBTQ+, and they don't want to do activism. They don't want to be in this space. They just want to be themselves and like blend in this world, you know? Which again is totally fine. I think whatever route you want to do, whatever vehicle you want to take your message is just being yourself, and you're going to inspire other people to be themselves, and not just other people who are like the same identifier, but like confidence knows confidence, right? You see someone who's like, I don't know, a preppy girl who's like not shaving her leg hair, you're gonna be like, oh my God, yes, like I can do me because you're doing you. Like anyone doing their own thing that's almost per the counterculture, or almost like straying from like what everyone's teaching us in like our schools or our hometowns. It gives you the sound okay that you can be you.
Inspiration.
Yeah.